Hello all. In this video, we are going to revise the chapter of sectors of the Indian economy. This is the first part. Well, talking about the sectors of the Indian economy, we have to think about the activities conducted by the people in India, right? There are various kinds of activities. These activities can be bifurcated into two parts. One is the economic activity, the other one is the non economic activity. Well, economic activity means the activity done where money is in the base, means an activity done for the sake of money or profit is called economic activity. And non economic activity is that activity which is done without the purpose or intention to get any money or profit. For instance, I love gardening, or I helped a child to cross the road. This is a non economic activity. I did it because I wanted to do it. But if I, as a rickshawala, as a rickshaw driver, I helped a person to reach bus stand from the railway station for rupees 20, then that becomes an economic activity because here money is involved. So economic activity and non-economic activity are bifurcated in terms of money. Now, talking about economic activities, the activities are there are many kinds of economic activities. We find agricultural activities, we find the services like in the banks, the transportation, all these are economic activities, right? So to classify every activity, we need to make different sections. So that is done through making sectors in the uh, economic activities. So the sectors of economic activity can be bifurcated into three parts: the primary sector, secondary sector, and the tertiary sector. Well, the primary sector includes those economic activities which are mainly related to nature. That is, whatever the people do as an economic activity with relation to production or cultivation or taking something from nature, that belongs to primary sector. For instance, agriculture or livestock. Here, agriculture is done on land. We produce wheat or paddy or whatever, cotton or something from land. Here, the land is providing us the crop, so that becomes related to nature, right? Other than agriculture, we have animal husbandry, then we have fishery, the fishing, the forestry. We extract oil, right? Mineral extraction, the oil is extracted. Iron is taken from the iron ores. Coal is also taken. Mining work, so mining, agriculture, livestock includes the animal husbandry, then horticulture, the pisciculture, forestry, mineral extraction, everything. These kind of activities are related to nature directly, so that becomes the primary sector. Fine. uh, so the primary sector is basically related to producing or taking something from the nature directly. Now, after seeing the primary sector, secondary sector comes, where the producers from the nature or from the primary sector are used and are processed over here and made it usable for the consumer. That is, for instance, here in this picture we can see different activities are done. Here one is the windmill, one is that of there is a mine over here where the extraction of I think so it is the iron. So the extraction is done over here, then it is processed. Fine. In here the windmills, they produce electricity from the wind blowing. So these are related to the secondary sector. To understand it more easily, we can take an example of cotton. Well, cotton is produced as from the agriculture, which is the primary sector. Then it is made into yarn. From the cotton we prepare yarn or thread, then the yarn is woven into cloth in the industries. That becomes the secondary sector. Fine. In the secondary sector, the whatever we produce in the primary sector is processed over here in the secondary sector, or we can say the industrial sector is equals to secondary sector. Now, talking about the tertiary sector includes the service part, or we can call tertiary sector to be services also, because we find all kind of services like the healthcare, the banking, retails, the law, restaurant, transportation, distribution, as shown in the picture. All the services which we find in our daily life is included in the tertiary sector. As I said earlier, rickshaw is a service, right? We go to bank, that is a service. We find railways, that is a service. The government does the work of services. It's not an industry, it is a tertiary sector over here. All the management kind of activities are done in this tertiary sector. Talking about the earlier example of cotton is produced primary sector, the agriculture one. In the secondary sector, this in the industries, the yarn is made, the cloth is woven from the yarn. In the tertiary sector, this cloth is sold in the market, right? Or the cloth is used by the tailor to make a beautiful dress out of it, and then it is sold. So the service of the tailor is in the tertiary sector, and when it is sold in the market, it becomes the tertiary sector one. So that is those activities related to directly connecting with the people from whatever has been produced in the secondary sector, bringing it to the service of people is called the tertiary sector. But when we talk about all these three sectors, we have to see what the country is producing on a large scale, right? So we cannot say, yes, primary sector gave us this much, or the secondary sector gave this much, the tertiary sector gave this much. We can calculate it to some extent, but when it comes to, for example, the cotton only, let's take the cotton is produced. When we calculate cotton, we cannot say this much quintal of cotton is produced, or we cannot say we this much of this quintal of yarn has been produced. Then we cannot say we these many kgs of dresses were prepared. No, we have to value it in terms of money. So uh, for example, we can say like 10,000 kgs of wheat is produced, right? But sold for rupees 8, then the value becomes 80,000 rupees, right? 10,000 to 8, 8 per kg, that becomes 80,000 rupees of wheat has been produced. That is the way we value a thing. But when we talk about these three sectors, we cannot say that uh, cotton once produced is this much, then the cloth made from this is this much. We cannot say that way, because the cotton once produced in the primary sector will be used in the secondary sector. So when we say the value of the secondary sector's production, it includes that of the primary sector also. That is, the production is always going through all the three sectors, right? When the cotton is produced in the fields, it is yielded and the rate is fixed, and on that rate basis we get the value of the raw cotton. When it goes to the secondary sector, that is to the industries, the value of the raw cotton is included in the production process again. Then, for example, the cotton is brought for 80,000 rupees here for raw one. In the secondary sector, it is made into yarn. Fine. This yarn is made and it becomes 1 lakh rupees. The value increases to 1 lakh. Then again, it is taken to the service sector, where various different dresses are made and various units of dresses are made, and each dress of rupees 1000 is made, and from that, for example, the 1000 pieces of dress are made of rupees 200, suppose, means the value increases to 2 lakhs now. So here all the rates, all the values from the cotton till the dress is included with the in the final product. So that becomes the final value of what has been produced. You cannot say the value of cotton is this much, the yarn is this much, and the dress is this much. No, the value of dress includes the value of cotton and the yarn and the dress also. Here, the intermediate goods has been pointed out or noted here. That is because in our example we took cotton, right? The cotton becomes an intermediate good for yarn. The yarn becomes the intermediate good for the dress. So it is not the final product. Intermediate goods means the product which has to be processed more to get the final product. So with the production of this final product, the final product of all the sectors, right? We get a value of all the goods and services, and when we sum up all these goods and services in terms of their final values, we get the total production of the sector for a year. That is, to say it in the technical language, the value of the final goods and services produced in each sector during a particular year provides the total production of the sector for that year. And the sum of the production of these three sectors gives the GDP, the gross domestic product of the country. So it is the production, gross domestic product means whatever production has been done in all these three sectors, the value of it is known as GDP. And one more thing is important over here is that it should be produced within the country. That becomes the gross domestic product. So friends, in this video, hope so you have understood the three sectors of primary, secondary and tertiary along with the concept of GDP. So if you have liked my video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.